Hello and welcome again to Not Fake News. Last week we did a thing where I think it was Taper begging Conway to tell her that it's CNN fake news. He kept asking her, "Is CNN fake news? Is CNN fake news?" And Kellyanne finally, after being begged to say it like a child was begging his mother for something, she finally turned around and goes, okay, you're not fake news. You're not fake news. CNN's not fake news. And she like tapped him on the shoulder. You're a good boy, you know. And it was pathetic because the next day they're like, Kellyanne Conway said, I'm not fake news. We're not fake news. And it was pretty much, I foresaw, I could foresee that happening. As a matter of fact, while the video I made about it was playing, I actually said they're going to be talking about that tomorrow. So, but look at her. She looks very happy. Extremely happy right there. She looks great. And it's almost as if they said to her, okay, Kellyanne, we're going to shoot this now. She's like, are we really going to go with that CNN is fake thing right now? Because I thought that was over. And we kind of squashed it. Like, nope, we're doing this. Like, really? And they snapped it while she was saying, really? And like, yeah. So this is great. This is great, guys. You ready for this? This week's World's Smallest Violin Award goes to Fake News Network, constantly networking nothing, specifically to be shared between fake newsman Jake Tapper and fake newsman Chris Cuomo, both of whom took the whiny abroad of being called fake news while purveying fake news. Cuomo, who really needs to eat more brain food, even possibly more brains, said that being called fake news while purveying fake news is like being called the N-word. He later apologized, but not enough, and he should have added banging his head repeatedly against the wall, saying, stupid, 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 over and over again. That might have been the right way to go for him. As for Tapper, he harried and berated a largely conciliatory presidential spokeswoman, Kellyanne Conway, for almost half an hour about how hard it is out there for fake newsmen to always be called fake newsmen while being fake. When it comes to Trump administration, Tapper whined, I would much rather be covering immigration. I would much rather be covering trade. I would much rather be covering the draining of the swamp and counterterrorism. But instead, every day, there are these sprays of attacks and sprays of falsehoods coming from the White House. Is he kidding? It would be better if they were not coming from the White House, he said, for me and for you. Anyway, I think that is what he said. Hold on. I think that's what he said, though it was tough to hear him over the screeching and teasing tiny little itsy bitsy violin playing in the background throughout. The problem is, CNN, like the New York Slimes, like the network news departments at Nothing But Crap and always broadcasting crap and constantly broadcasting crap, is visual. That's NBC, ABC, and CBS, of course, we know. But it's virtually the definition of fake news. A phrase made up by the left to attack Trump, but which blew up in their faces like a trick cigar when it turned out that everyone knows what lies they've been for the past 16 years. Isn't that awesome? Got another article here. And remember, this one was called, Yes, CNN is fake news. Okay? We take it back. All right, one more article here. Good one. White House enormous powers of Trump on travel ban will not be questioned. President Trump walks on the South Lawn upon arrival at the White House on February 12, 2017, from a trip to Florida. In Washington, Senator White House Policy Advisor Stephen Miller said today that the end result of the court battle over President Trump's travel ban is that our opponents, the media, and the whole world will soon see as we begin to take further actions that the powers of the president to protect our country are very substantial and will not be questioned. A Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals three-panel judge unanimously denied Thursday that Trump's administration motion to toss a federal judge's temporary restraining order of the eviction action temporarily stopping refugee entry and all entry from 7 Muslim-majority nations. The judges didn't take well to DOJ lawyer August Flintein's argument on Tuesday that federal judges didn't have the authority to review the executive orders because the president has unreviewable authority to suspend the admission of any class of aliens. They didn't like hearing that. There was no precedent to support this claim. There was no precedent to support this claim unreviewably, which returns contrary to the fundamental structure of our constitutional democracy, they wrote in their ruling. The Supreme Court has repeatedly and explicitly rejected the notion that the political branches have reviewable authority over immigration and are not subject to the Constitution when policymaking in that context. After citing many cases to make their point, the judges added, in short, although courts owe considerable difference to the presidency's policies determinations with respect to immigration and national security, it is beyond question that the federal judiciary retains the authority to adjudicate constitutional challenges to executive action. Asked on CBS what the administration plans to do now, Miller replied, "There are so many things we can do. For one thing, we could take the case to Supreme Court on an emergency stay, and we can go back to the district court and we can have a hearing on the merits. And we can go back and we can go to the bank, BANC, to hear what I have heard and bank. Or if we want to, we can also continue to appeal the panel," Miller said. Additionally, we're considering new and further executive actions that will enhance the security posture of the United States, he added. The president has enormous powers, both delegated to him by Congress and under the Constitution. His Article 2 foreign affairs power to control the entry of aliens into our country, and he's going to use that authority to keep us safe. And there's nothing that you or the Ninth Court can do about it. Miller declared that saying the White House is in control would be a substantial understatement. I'm sorry, let me read that again. Miller declared that saying the White House is in control would be a substantial understatement. And on issue after issue, we're taking forceful action to deliver the president's campaign promises on a breathtaking scale. Ooh, damn, I love that. Make the rounds on all of the Sunday shows. Miller told Always Broadcasting Crap, the judiciary is not supreme. And the bottom line is the president's powers in this area represent the apex of executive authority, he said. Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson, who brought the lawsuit, joined by Minnesota against Trump's order and won the lower court Ninth Circuit victories, told ABC that the administration, the president, simply refused to recognize what everybody else can recognize. See, that's what they keep saying. Everyone feels like we do. No. Everyone feels like Trump does. Get it straight. 4 federal judges have looked at this case, 2 appointed by Republican presidents, 2 appointed by Democrats, and all 4 have completely utterly rejected the president's argument in this case. And we anticipate winning as we move forward, Ferguson said. Of course, there's broad discretion for the president. There's a broad discretion for the president, but nobody is above the law. An executive order is still, but be consistent with our Constitution. And that's the problem that the president keeps running into with federal judges out there in the Ninth Circuit. Who sits on the Foreign Relations Committee told CBS, that's Jeff Flake told CBS, he doesn't think the ban that went in place was really based on national intelligence or their assessment. Flake said he believes Trump's executive order is constitutional, but I don't think that it's a good idea. I think that the message that it sends to our allies abroad and in countries that we need to work with is not a good one, but I do think that that it is constitutional, and I hope that we will pause and reflect and see where we need to go from here, he added. We need to look and see where the real threats are, and based on threats, and not so much just what was promised in the campaign. The senator stressed that these three separate branches constitute the genius of our government, and we sat down with Judge Gorsuch. That's what we appreciated most. And when I sat down with Judge Gorsuch, that's what I appreciated most is his recognition there. He said that when he puts on the robe, he recognizes that it is not a legislator. He is not. Flake said of Trump's Supreme Court nominee, and that is what we need. Certainly, judges that recognize the separation of power, and also legislators that do the executive branch as well. That is what made this country work so well for more than 200 years. Long story, no videos or anything, so we just stuck it right here. Thank you for watching. Comment below and subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure after you subscribe you hit the bell so you get instant notifications of the breaking stories that come out all day, each day. And if you like what we're doing, hear it, not fake news, please hit the like button. That's what we're here for. It helps us very much, and we appreciate it very much. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time at Not Fake News.